Hi, my name is Sarah Avery, and I am the Executive Director of Quanta Change. So, do you ever get frustrated that no one listens to you? Like, no matter what you say or do, that you're just not heard or acknowledged for what you've said or done? So, have you even done therapy or some kind of self help work for this to try and change it? And yet, communicating differently and better or setting better boundaries just really hasn't changed much of anything? Yeah, it's so frustrating, right? But it's not your fault. It's because the root of the problem is something called learned distress, and it's stored in your brain in a way that makes it inaccessible to most methods. So, learned distress is the quanta change term for the feeling that you absorbed very early in life that there's something wrong with you being just the way that you are. And the biggest piece of learned distress that we all have is the feeling that we don't matter just for being ourselves. Does that ring a bell? This feeling that I don't matter? Yeah, it's awful, right? So, learned distress is the automatic generating force behind all of our negative situations and conditions and patterns. And that includes our relationships or interactions that are negative. And so, when the feeling that we don't matter is the automatic generating force in those situations, interactions, it allows people to treat us that same way, that we don't matter. Now, of course, that other person's learned distress is involved and is the reason that they're able to treat you that you don't matter. But what we're talking about today is what you can do something about, which is your own learned distress and how you can get rid of your learned distress, which really can change relationships for the better. So here's the problem. Learned distress is stored at this very deep feeling level that is inaccessible to your rational thinking brain. So unfortunately, just understanding the problem or thinking differently or doing things differently doesn't get to that deep feeling level and actually get rid of the learned distress that's causing the problem, generating those negative patterns in the first place. In other words, you can't think your way out of or act your way out of your learned distress. But the good news is that Quanta Change, this work I've been doing for the last 22 years, was developed to actually get to that deep feeling level and allow you to peel off layers of learned distress permanently. When you do, your core well-being expands to take the place that the learned distress was sitting. And when that happens, so your core well-being is this feeling right at your center that you are just great, just being yourself, that you really do matter just for being yourself. And so when there's more and more of that good feeling inside of you, it becomes more and more the generating force behind your relationships and your interactions with other people. And they treat you more like you matter. That is really how it works. I've been seeing this for more than 2 decades in myself and my clients over this long period of time. So let me give you an example of what that looks like. So I had a client who was really frustrated with how her teenage son was reacting to her, responding to her, treating her. He was being really dismissive and even really outright hostile at times. If you're a parent, can you relate to this? Yeah, it's frustrating and hard to handle, right? So she started peeling off layers of this feeling that she didn't matter. And the more layers of that she peeled off, the more her son really started to treat her differently. He started to treat her with more respect. He started to bring her his really deep felt concerns for her advice, believe it or not. And he started to, just out of the blue, reminisce about these good times they'd had in his earlier childhood and how much he had enjoyed these times that they'd spent together. She said she was so confused because she said, I have not done or said anything differently, but he's so different towards me. I can't believe it. But I could believe it because this is what I've been seeing, and it's what I expect to see from the Quanta Change process for people. This is just how Quanta Change looks. So if you're interested in experiencing some of this kind of change for yourself, the first thing to do is to get your free personalized report from my website that's going to show you which of the 6 patterns of learned distress you have. They are called the idealist, the perfectionist, the optimist, the caregiver, the defeatist, and the dictator. And so you're going to go to my website and fill out an in-depth, scientifically validated personality test that measures your learned distress. And I will send you this report that shows you your pattern and the kinds of positive change that Quanta Change typically brings about for someone with your pattern. So I hope you'll go do that right now, and I'll look forward to hearing from you. And I hope you will join me again soon to find out another way in which Quanta Change really can help you feel good being you. Thanks so much.